So, it's been a while since I have actually just sat here in front of a camera and talked to all of you. Because normally when I'm in front of the camera, I'm recording a Let's Play. Or doing an interview. But this time around, I actually just wanted to sit here and talk to you and go through a series that I've been thinking about doing for a while. It's not going to be a long series, but it is going to be sort of similar to the series that I did a few weeks ago, or a few months ago at this point, on the website, and that was where I addressed the state of each company. The state of TNA, the state of WWE, and the state of Ring of Honor. The only difference between this series and that series is that this series is going to be more focused on where I see each company in a year. But instead of doing more than one company or all of the companies in one, I'm going to do one company at a time. And the company I'm going to start with is WWE. So, with that being the case, where I see WWE in a year. Well, I'm going to start with who I see holding the WWE title. And I basically see Kevin Owens holding the WWE title. And you may ask, but Kevin Owens is on Raw and the WWE title's on SmackDown. Well, I see WWE changing things up and allowing Kevin Owens to slide over to SmackDown, which would allow him to gain an opportunity to be WWE champion. And I think this time next year, Kevin will be WWE champion heading into WrestleMania, much like he is this year with the Universal title. As far as who I think the World Champion will be, the Universal Champion, I think the Universal Champion will be AJ Styles. And you may say, once again, AJ Styles is on SmackDown. Well, I still firmly believe that WWE is going to hold some sort of a draft, or do some type of trades, or do something to switch up the rosters. And in doing that, I think that one of the people that are going to get moved are AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. I think they're going to switch brands to allow the top feuds on both Raw and SmackDown to also change. With that being the case, I think AJ Styles will be Universal Champion and will also add a little bit more prestige to that title, especially depending on who he wins it from and when he wins it, because, I mean, also you can, just think about it like this. AJ Styles being back on Raw, that means he can go back to having his series of matches with Roman Reigns, and maybe by that point, AJ Styles will actually be able to beat Roman Reigns. But either way, AJ's, I believe it was two matches with Roman last year were two of the better matches of the year, and just little fragments of the reason why the phenomenal AJ Styles owned the year 2016. Taking it from what JBL said at Elimination Chamber, I actually can't believe that something one of the announcers said was actually, a fair assessment. But now we move to, let's move to the Intercontinental title. I do believe that the Intercontinental title will remain on SmackDown, and the United States title will remain on Raw. And I believe that the the Intercontinental Champion a year from now will be the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. But I also believe that Baron Corbin may be just in the beginning of his second run with the Intercontinental title. Because where I'm currently recording this video on Valentine's Day 2017. So I'm talking about a year from now being Valentine's Day 2018. Which means that I think that Baron Corbin will either win the Intercontinental title at Elimination Chamber in 2018 or the Royal Rumble, or maybe even on a SmackDown in 2018. Who else will be in the title picture for the Intercontinental title in 2018? Who really knows? But what I can tell you is I do think that Baron Corbin by that time will be starting his second reign as Intercontinental Champion. As for the United States title, this is a little bit tougher of a choice. I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn. I know Sami Zayn is the one that's challenging Chris Jericho for the WWE US title at Fastlane in 3 weeks, and I'm not predicting the match then. I'm talking about a year from now. But I will say that much like Baron Corbin, I think that Sami Zayn will be in the midst of his second reign as United States Champion, meaning I think Sami Zayn will begin 2018 as United States Champion. And 2018 will be Sami Zayn's year, because the other thing I'm predicting is that Sami Zayn will be the last man standing in the 30-man Royal Rumble match in 2018. Meaning, I think Sami Zayn will be the one who goes to WrestleMania to challenge either the Universal Champion or WWE Champion at WrestleMania. But either way, I do think that Sami and Baron Corbin, as well as AJ Styles and Kevin Owens respectively, will hold championship gold this time next year. Moving to the tag team division, much like the upper echelon of the division, I do think that the tag team division will see a little bit of a shake-up from roster moves within the next year, and I think American Alpha will be one of those teams that move around, because I do believe that American Alpha will be moving from SmackDown over to Monday Night Raw and will be Raw Tag Team Champions at this time next year. As for the SmackDown titles, I think that the Revival will be SmackDown Tag Team Champions this time next year. And I do believe that the Revival will be going into 2018 as Tag Team Champions, because I think that they will win the SmackDown Tag Team titles this year and move into and hold them all the way through until 2018. Meaning this time next year, I do believe that the Revival will hold Tag Team Gold in the WWE, specifically the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Now moving to the women's division, let's go with the SmackDown one first. The SmackDown women's title will be held by... Now, I was kind of surprised when Naomi won the SmackDown Women's title at Elimination Chamber from Alexa Bliss. But I will say that as far as things go now, much like the other divisions, I think the women's division will also see a shake-up within the next year. And I think Nia Jax will be SmackDown's Women's Champion at this time next year. And as far as the Raw Women's title... Well, before I make the point about the Raw Women's title, I just want to say this about Nia Jax. I think it will get to the point where Nia has feuded with everybody, and not just Nia. I think it'll get to the point where everyone on Raw's division and everyone on SmackDown's division has has feuded, faced, and fought everyone possible that they can in the current standing with the brands, and that will lead WWE to make some changes. And I think Nia Jax would be better served being on SmackDown and being one of the people that switch to the opposite brand, because she is a credible heel and could help the SmackDown brand. And with that being the case, I think Nia will be Women's Champion on SmackDown when she goes to the blue brand. As for Monday Night Raw, I think there's only one person that will be holding the WWE, the Raw Women's title next year, and that will be the current NXT Women's Champion, Asuka. I think at this time next year, Asuka will be the Raw Women's Champion. And the last title, that is the WWE Cruiserweight title, currently around the waist of Neville. And I know that everybody's been a critic of the Cruiserweight division. Everyone has hated how the division has been booked since September. I will admit that things have gotten a little bit better as time has gone on, with veterans like Tajiri and Neville and Brian Kendrick really helping the division, and the arrival of all the cruiserweights that we've been waiting for, like Tozawa and Mustafa Ali. And, you know, with that being the case, that's added more depth to the division and allowed for more character development, because there's no doubt in my mind that Jack Gallagher has been by far the biggest bright spot, next to Neville possibly, for the division, because he is such a good character. He is super entertaining. And I will say this, that I don't think they're done adding depth to the Cruiserweight division, and I think that by this time next year, the biggest international superstar in the Cruiserweights, or of the junior heavyweights as far as Japan goes, will join the WWE, and that is Ricochet will join the WWE and become the WWE Cruiserweight Champion by this time next year. That is also my bold prediction, that Ricochet will join the WWE and debut at Royal Rumble next year, much like AJ Styles did in 2016 rather, when he debuted at the Royal Rumble. But I also think that within a month of Ricochet's debut, he will be holding WWE Championship Gold. And that, my friends, is where I think that WWE will be a year from now. As far as another bold prediction, I think that by this time next year, there will be a lot more fans of the Cruiserweight division, and that people will like how the division is being booked and the direction of the talent. I'm not going to say that certain talent who do have potential to be better than just being cruiserweights for their entire WWE tenure will have risen up out of the Cruiserweight division and into the Intercontinental title picture or even the World title picture, but I will say that the direction may be more clear and the depth may be better and the character development will be 100 times better, and the fans will love the Cruiserweights just like they always do by this time next year. The last thing I can say is this, that this is just the start of the series. If you enjoyed this series, if you enjoyed this outlook of where I think WWE will be a year from now, then stay tuned for where I think TNA will be for a year from now, and Ring of Honor as well. But if you like this video, you could always leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the video down below. But if you don't want to leave a comment, you could always leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.